good at using his height to scan the floor. Parrish capable of finding open teammates this way.
Back to Stockton over Williams. And that one is
Stockton.
The defense willing to concede the mid-range as the lesser of evils. It paid off there.
Spins. Stolen by Stockton. He lobs up the alley-oop pass.
Moses Malone.
Terrific timing from the big man. Malone realizes when to go for the alley-oop.
And so it's Boston with it. 8-point game. Next up will be a home game matched up against the Pacers. And that game concludes a 5-game homestand. Ames, the pass to Parrish. The Celtics working the ball around now. Here's McHale. That shot, no good. Good D by Jones.
Yeah.
To the inside. Malone dishes to Jones. That one falls. And now it's a 10-point Philadelphia lead.
That is super efficient, getting in deep and then taking advantage.
Ames the pass to Wedman. Here's McHale. Here's Parrish. Makes it off the glass. Parrish has got 22 points.
The long arms of Parrish, using incredible length to do damage on the offensive glass.
Over to the left wing. Stolen by Parrish. Williams against Stockton. Pulls in from 20. Williams has got 4 points this quarter.
Boma's annoying. He'll grow to love Boma. Yeah. Yeah, she was.
And the layup's good off the glass. He's got 11.
Such a gifted offensive player. He can hurt you in a variety of ways. He's a headache for opposing defenses.
Passes it to McHale. A fader. And that's collected by Malone.
He's just forcing too many shots out there right now. He just needs to dial it back and look to work the ball around the floor to his teammates.
You know, he's taking shot after shot after shot, but still can't break out of this cold streak.
At this point, it's all mental. He's in his own head, not letting the shots come naturally.
Now, here's Richardson. Here's Jones. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Boy, the work ethic of Jones, very admirable. When he's on the court, he's giving you everything he has.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Philadelphia. And that one misses. Bird's checked in for Wedman. And the 76ers also making a change. Irving's checked in. He doesn't get the second one. Bird against Stockton. Bird kicks to Ainge. Over Irving.
I never watched Dragon Ball Z.
Defense pulled out all stops there.
Why?
And they managed to
He was a Naruto guy.
Stolen by Parrish.
Just like the classics.
Bird looking it over. It's tipped. Here's McHale.
Not super per se, no.
Just hasn't been able to connect.
And that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z. And Dragon Ball, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say technically Dragon Ball Z was out before Dragon Ball.
No, Dragon Ball was out before Dragon Ball Z.
No.
Bro. It's just that you were introduced to Dragon Ball Z, and they didn't really start showing Dragon Ball until Dragon Ball Z blew up in America. That's why you perceive it that way. But Dragon Ball was first, and then Dragon Ball Z. Like it came out in like 1983 or something like that, like in cartoon form. You have to remember, like, bro, the fucking Dragon Ball Z that you're watching now, or the shit that RTP's daughter is on. That shit came out in '89. It's just that it's been redubbed, redone. Yeah. Yes.
In America or in Japan?
It was in. I'm talking about in Japan.
I'm about to say in America it was Dragon Ball Z and then Dragon Ball came after.
Because Dragon Ball Z was such a great. Nah.
Not in America.
It's like there's been so many redubs like of Dragon Ball. Like it was in America, but it didn't blow up until Dragon Ball's like they took it off of airwaves, then they put Dragon Ball Z on, and that blew up, which made them put back out Dragon Ball for the American airwaves.
Yeah, because the way it tells a whole like story, when I was a kid was like
this is all about Goku's life from when he was a kid to now that he's an adult. It's over. In the United States, yeah. Like the shit was already 10 years old by the time it got to us.
Yeah. But I'm about to say the way they did it for us as kids, it's like we've been watching Dragon Ball Z and now they showing you when Goku was a kid.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We perceived it that Dragon Ball Z was first and then Dragon Ball. But that's how it just was over here in America. But overseas, they had it from a kid to now he's an adult. And if you watch the original Dragon Ball, it's a lot of, like, sexual shit happening. It's
pretty much all Japanese shows because they freaky over there.
I remember the episode in Dragon Ball when young Goku was sleeping in the same bed as Bulma, and he like pointed at her vagina, like basically touched it, like pointed twice, like, yo, what's that? Like, you don't have balls? Like, you don't have like or when he walked in on her naked and shit. Them shit was funny.
But he gets to the line, Dr.
And that's what makes it so crazy is that you go from that, like you have fighting and shit like that, but the Dragon Ball Z just amped it up. Dragon Ball, and then becoming actually knowing what like you didn't know what Goku was until Dragon Ball Z, even though you had like 5 years of Dragon Ball.
Because he was really weaker than everybody.
Yeah, he was weak. I mean, but he grew strong. He get trained. He was a weak for a Saiyan.
That's what I'm saying.
And he knocks down the first one.
Nah, you should watch Super.
I'm bad about finishing shows and animes.
Yeah, I guess. You said he didn't watch Dragon Ball. He didn't say nothing about he didn't watch Dragon Ball Z.
So after making the first, he goes.
I watched Dragon Ball Z like originally as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, he said he didn't watch Dragon Ball. That's Super.
Yeah, Dragon Ball I didn't really watch as a kid. Dragon Ball Z definitely.
I didn't watch it either. It wasn't appealing. But that Dragon Ball Z? And I remember the first time I ever watched it, it was already what was it?
I mean,
hold on. No, you know what? Because it used to. I don't know where with you. I don't know about y'all where y'all was growing up, but Dragon Ball used to come on Channel 11 at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
On Toonami?
No, that's not Toonami. That's not Toonami. Toonami didn't exist yet. That's Toonami is what made it explode. But I used to watch it on another channel. It was Channel 11, and it just come on at 6 in the morning. Like it was just, something they just had on like Saturdays. I mean, like during the it used to come on during the week. Yeah, that wasn't my. Toonami reintroduced it to me. Reintroduced. I can't even say it to me and shit like that. Reintroduced. Yeah. And that's where like I like understood it, because it was years later. And then I think I started in the So when I first watched it years before I saw it on Toonami, I think it was the Frieza saga. It was basically the Namek saga. I should say, not Frieza yet, but the Namek saga. I just remember just flipping through channel. It didn't really hold much appeal to me or whatever like that at the time. And then on Toonami, it started, when I first saw it, it started in the Cell saga. So I already knew more about Cell than I even knew about Frieza. Like, they were already Saiyans and Saiyan transformations. And to go back, because it was coming such a fan, to watch the Frieza saga and everything like that, that shit was crazy.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And that's why Dragon Ball Z is so more appealing. If you don't got that long build up of watching Goku become good, it's damn near pretty much start in the Frieza shit.
But the Dragon Ball, you have like 300 episodes before you even get to Z, before you see Goku as like a teenager, and you know he's facing Piccolo. Like, he didn't even fight Piccolo yet, King Piccolo.
They've got to clean that up. Yeah, their interior defense has been too easy to crack. Time to get physical down low.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Hold on, with your daughter? So you just now saw like the Raditz fight when the first Saiyans came out there to Earth? Wow. Wow. Why? Because you're missing the Vegeta fight. The only real fight, but it's the only real Goku versus Vegeta fight. Like, other than that, every time they fight, it's like brothers fighting. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that in their first fight. So, like, if you start just from Frieza, you're missing the Frieza. I mean, you're missing Goku versus Vegeta. You're missing Gohan versus Raditz. You're missing you're missing Gohan versus Raditz. You're missing Goku versus what's the other dude? Nappa against Nappa, the bald-headed Saiyan. Like, you're missing like some good fight. You're missing a tournament. No, there was no tournament. Because I think that was still Dragon Ball when the last tournament went. That's why it was such a pleasure to have. Yeah, that's what made it so exciting, is that they brought back, because you just went a whole, like, since Dragon Ball, because I think Dragon Ball ends when, like, Goku is like 12 and he's fighting Piccolo. And then Z starts when the Saiyans come to Earth for the first time. And then that's all of Z up to Boo. You know what I'm saying? And throughout all of that, like, up to when the Saiyans land to when you to the Cell saga where you get a tournament, there was no tournaments. Like, there was just no tournaments compared to Super, where you got like 3 tournaments. Which makes it fun as fun. That's what brings back the joy in it. Like, everything is not a fight to the death, so you gotta be, you know, real strategical of how you want to exit your opponent. And I think that's why they wanted to do that for Super. This first stage of Super was to bring the tournament type of component back while introducing new characters and new powers and multiverse and the multiverse. Yeah. Yeah. Your universe will be eradicated by Zeno. So that's what made it fun, while introducing, you know, like I said, the multiverse and Super Saiyan Blue and all that shit. So I think this next shit of Super is going to be more of a fight to the death type of thing. It's not going to be no tournament. It's just going to be like a villain that's out there.
Didn't they prove at this point, like, nobody can beat whatchamacallit?
Who?
The nigga with a beat.
Who? Beerus?
Yeah.
The gods could. You haven't gotten to it, but they could be defeated. Yeah. They could be defeated if it's just not at that. It's not, you know, there yet. You know what Saiyans are, bro. Whenever they find a new higher power and fight that person or train with them, they get stronger. As simple as that. And now that they're getting introduced to God powers, trust me, they will get stronger.
They've played a
To
good
God
fourth
Key, I
quarter
should say.
defensively, allowing only 3 points. Now, here is Irving. Kevin
So I can't
McHale
Come
wait.
brings it
on,
in.
Dr. J.
Like they've got plenty of time to get
And I
back into
still
this
haven't
game.
seen our
Yeah, I'm sure they feel pressure,
latest
but
Dragon
this
Ball
is where you
Super.
have to stay
I didn't
calm
see
and
it.
execute. With all of his moves and counter moves, Irving gets to the line a
Yeah,
He
lot.
wasn't watching it, though.
that's what I said.
That free throw, no good.
Nobody watched Dragon Ball
That's
until
what I
Dragon
was
Ball
saying.
Z was already
I was
popping.
talking about Dragon Ball when I said 1989. Because I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z in Japan was in '89, but you had Dragon Ball play in '89. It's just that, like I said, like it was nobody was watching it. But when Dragon Ball Z blew up, then they re-released Dragon Ball for the American
Exactly.
masses. Like
You gotta remember, I was like a
that,
kid
because
in that era.
Dragon Ball is really some that Japanese humor type of shit, slice of life shit. You know, with sprinkles of some great fights and potential of what it was going to be once Goku grew up a little bit more.
They pretty
Because
much
it's fun.
went
Because
as a
it's fun to
kid.
look
I
at that.
remember them.
I haven't watched it in a long time. It's fun watching when Goku is taught the Kamehameha by Master Yoshi. Because it's been something that's been a staple of the show this whole time is his final move. Like, it's fun to watch shit like that, and that's only in shit like Dragon Ball, or where where he gets his original stance when he's fighting. Like, it's fun watching shit like that. But
But pretty much as a kid, I remember them doing it as like Dragon Ball was like the pre-equal to Dragon Ball Z. Like we was already watching
they was
Dragon
gonna
Ball Z.
spin it. They're gonna spin it however way.
That's what I'm
They're gonna
saying.
spin it out. Yeah, like.
And then they did the Dragon Ball GT.
But Dragon Ball Z wasn't my first manga anime that I ever watched. It was this shit that used to come on at the craziest time. I remember being at my father's house, and it come on Channel 9, and it'll come on Sunday, like 10 o'clock Sunday. You know damn well they don't show cartoons on Sunday like that, especially at that time back in the day.
Yeah.
And the shit was called Techno Man, and it was basically like somewhat like Gundam Wing, like all them shits. And man, I used to watch that shit religiously.
See, my best friend put me on the Toonami and watching that kind of shit. Because a lot of them early shows I didn't
It
like.
never. I could hear him. All right,
Like
but
I didn't
Technoman
like.
didn't come on Toonami.
Like I
It
didn't
never
like.
came on
I'm
Toonami.
talking about even the old Japanese animes. Like I didn't never try to watch them until I was older. Like what's the one where the nigga be fighting for niggas' souls and he got the long sword?
Nigga, that's a lot of them, bro.
Um,
Like, yo, you gotta be way more descriptive with that,
I say
bro.
it was like in black and white though at first.
It was in black and white. I don't know. I don't know.
Soul Reaper. But yeah, I'm bad about finishing animes. Like I've been in the first season, like the first 8 episodes of Attack on Titans for like 2 years.
Animes be forever. It, it, it's really hard, Joe. That's why I'm scared to. I want to start One Piece, but I just know it's so fucking long. And I didn't get into Naruto. I couldn't stay. It reminded me too much. You know why I couldn't? Demon Souls, yeah. Demon Slayer, yeah.
Is Demon Slayer the one where his whole family died besides his sister?
Yeah.
Yeah, I started that. Like Attack on Titans is like that. Like an Attack on Titans in the first episode, that nigga watch his mama get ate by a giant.
Mm-hmm.
Like bite her in half as she's screaming shit to
What's some
him.
more anime? Tournament, Dragon Ball Z, Cowboy Bebop,
That's old
Bobo
school.
Bobo 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 Bobo.
Nigga was watching Sailor Moon.
I've been getting Baki. If you've never watched Baki, he's like a boxer. It's a boxing shit.
Mm-mm.
Ever watch that?
I have watched a couple episodes of the basketball shit.
Yeah, I've seen that. I didn't get all the way into it, but it was kind of dope. But if y'all want to get into boxing type of anime, bro, Baki, bro.
What You Call It was one of the best animes I've seen. But only the first season, not the rest of them. Damn, I can't think of the name of that show. The shit where they get trapped in a video game, but if you die in a video game, you die in real life.
Yeah.
Something online.
Yeah. Swords Art Online? Is that shit?
Yeah. But only the original show. They got like 4 spinoffs. The original show is the only good
Yeah.
one. And you can only watch it until like the 3rd season. I think the 3rd season is when they get trapped in that fairy game. But like the first 2 seasons, that's crazy. You get stuck in a video game, and if you die in real life, you die. I mean, if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And niggas didn't know that at first, so they just killing people.
And he's good on the second.
Speaking with Bird's opponents, they'll tell you he talks trash the whole time. And of course, he backs it up with
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And an easy call from the officials there.
Yeah, don't argue that whistle. Pretty obvious.
Ah, shit.
That free throw missing.
My bad, Dr. J.
And he sinks the second. Celtics trail by 16.
I had RTP pissed because the Lakers lost in the first round with Magic and Kareem.
76ers have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Jones trying to get over. They get it back. And that one's good, Irving.
The Suns won that championship, and I don't think the Suns don't have a ring in real life.
Johnson surveying the floor. Passes it to Bird.
But I mean,
Here's Buckner. Back to Bird. Over Jones. And it comes off the front of the rim. The 76ers leading by 18.
he did say that. Something because they stopped him.
Fast break, and Bird's got it.
Not sure if he just ran out of gas or what. He's been awful ever since the second half started. It's not even been a factor.
Tony, no luck. Tony's gotten just 1 of 6 shots to fall here.
I mean, that's because Levante is one of the few linebackers who's athletic enough to run with Travis Kelce.
Pass to Maxwell.
Get out there.
Shoots from 14. Again, the miss by Bird. 76ers have gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field.
Yeah, I was about to say Levante is
Down low, stolen by Bird.
better in coverage than a Bobby Wagner.
Anticipation, moving your feet and drawing the whistle.
Unafraid to put his body on.
Robert Parrish is checked in.
Like if Travis Kelce would have had to play against Luke and TD, he probably would have said the same thing.
Now, here's Chiefs. Pass to Tony. He's guarded by Maxwell. And the rejection by Parrish.
Beautiful thing to watch there. Parrish with great anticipation and timing to get to that shot and deny it.
And the first one at the line is
Dr. J got 28 and 11.
At the line for 2.
Both free throws good for Irving. Here's Johnson. Now a timeout called by Boston. One of the stories here, Moses Malone getting it done today.
I mean, he's getting to the rack all game, and if they can't do a better job of keeping him out of the paint, they're in for a long night.
Still the best Dragon Ball Z move when watching it for the first time was Goku flying in the air in the Cell Saga and coming down to do an instant transmission Kamehameha wave. That shit, that's still the most shocking shit.
I ain't gonna lie. Goku was kind of a not shit dad, bro.
I mean, that's how all Saiyans were.
He kept making Gohan fight everybody, nigga.
He knew the potential he had. That's his real dad.
Parrish the pass to Maxwell. Here's Bird. Again, the miss by the Celtics. The 76ers leading by 20. Inside.
Yeah.
And that one is hammered home.
Spreading it like butter.
But you couldn't.
Well, that was his trainer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, you saw him in Super. You saw him in Super. The Goku Black Saga. That's the same Trunks. Remember? That's the same Trunks.
But Kid Trunks was a badass, I ain't gonna lie.
Exactly. What makes Kid Trunks better because he gets to grow up with Vegeta. Trunks hardly ever saw his father. Yes, it's the same Trunks where Gohan died to Android 16 and 17. What? I mean, bro, Super hasn't been on in 4 years, bro. Like, it hasn't been like 4 to 5 years. Yeah. I mean, that tournament was awesome. I mean, I still remember the Goku Black Saga is my favorite saga. Yeah, because you got to see Trunks, you got to see that goat. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that, and then it will be the tournament. It's just it was nice to see Gohan. I'm fucking wrong. It's nice to see fucking Trunks. You really saw him like how much he loved Gohan in that shit. You didn't really see that in Z. Cause he see Gohan all grown and he has a family now and everything like that. Like, so, but Gohan was hardly in that Goku Black Saga. Hardly through the whole fucking thing. Except for the tournament.
Moses Malone had 39 and 30. Dr. J had 33 and 12. TMJ had 23 and 5.